Hi there, my name is Esther, and today I'm here to talk to you about something that we are all so very familiar with, especially if you are a business owner, you're a parent, a mom, a dad, you have other responsibilities. For instance, you're a volunteer in the community, you have a 9 to 5 job, you're a stay at home mom. I want to talk about something that we all deal with from time to time. And this comes to managing the workload that we have while we're wearing all those multiple hats, okay? Now, after going through this for a number of years and struggling to find a rhythm that was working very well for me, I came up with this framework that I call the ABCDE action plan, which is what I want to share with you today. And hopefully you can grab it and make it your own and be able to move the needle massively, especially in the business. I don't know about you, but does it get to the end of the day and you're like, oh my gosh, where did the time go? I have so many things that I have not accomplished. Or in the morning or at the beginning of the week, you look at your task list and you're like, oh my goodness, I don't know how I am going to do all this. Because you have this list from, your family commitments, you have all these things you want to do in the business. And if you run a solo powered business where you're the CEO, you do everything. It can be a lot. It can be a lot, yeah? And then you have all these other responsibilities that you need to think about. I'm going to show you a very, very systematic way of organizing your tasks and being able to move the needle massively in your business. So let's dive in. Now, the very, very first one in this framework is the A, and A stands for audit your time. I know. Now, the thing is, especially as entrepreneurs, sometimes we tend to overestimate what we can achieve in a day. In fact, someone said, I don't know if it was Tony Robbins or who it was, that we tend to underestimate what we can achieve in a year, but overestimate what we can achieve in one day. It's this idea where you think you have time, and then you take on more and more thinking that you can do it, you can help a lot of people, you can do all these things because you want to do it, you want to make an impact, you want to do good by everybody. And then you realize at the end of the day, you are so busy and nothing is moving. No results in your business, no sales, no growth, and you're ever busy. Your family sees you so busy always, and you have nothing to show for it. So the first thing we want to do, and don't worry, I've prepared a tracker that is going to help you to audit your time. Now, we only do this for a short period of time. I recommend to do it for a week, where every day you track your time. Where does your time go? Right from when you get out of bed all the way until the time you go to bed. So you're going to track everything, even the little things. You want to know, the very first thing we want to do is to be aware of where our time is going. Someone said that what doesn't get measured cannot be acknowledged, cannot be managed. So we want to start with this sort of self-awareness. And this is a simple exercise, but I encourage you not to ignore it, but to do it, where you're going to track your time and audit and get a good picture of where your time is going, yeah? This will help us to be able to get out of this sort of time fantasy where we think we have the time, but we don't have the time and there's no result to show for all our busyness, yeah? So that's the first thing. Take the stock, get the picture. Now, the next thing for B is to I call it to come up with power blocks, but really what it is you want to optimize your schedule. Why is this important? I don't know if you're like me, but every time I sit down to get some work done, it takes a minute to really get into the zone, yeah? And then once you're in the zone, you don't want to get up. You're in the mood, you're flowing, work is getting done, and then you need to get up and go do something small, and that interruption is enough to take a lot of time off your plate. So here what we want to do is to see how can we optimize the tasks that we have so that we create these large time blocks of time where we can get a lot of work done, and then we minimize all the small commitments that rob our time. So here you're going to be very creative because now you have the schedule, you now know where your time goes, and see what can I switch around. What can I delegate? What can I get somebody else to do? My spouse, my children? Can I carpool, for instance? If I take my own example, my son plays competitive basketball, and every other night we're driving from one corner of town to the other. And if you think about it, by the time even if it's just to get up to go drop him off and come back, by the time I come back, it takes so long for me to get back into what I was doing. So can you carpool? Can you carpool? If I need to get up, go get my children from school, for instance, can I carpool with some other parents? Can I pre-plan, let's say, meals? Yeah, even if not cooking the full meal, but can I do some of the prep work over the weekend so that whenever I need to get up to prepare dinner, instead of getting up, like I can delay the time that I need to get up, yeah? So instead of getting up at 3:30 to go make dinner, perhaps I can delay it by 30 minutes so that I can push through when what I'm working on, when I'm in the middle of something, some deep work. So I hope you get what I mean by this. So we want to reorganize our time so that we have larger blocks of time where we take on the massive tasks that have a domino effect on the rest of the things, and then we can now do the other small things later when they don't need a lot of our attention. So that's what I mean by creating the time blocks. Yeah, so that is the B. So A is to audit your time and get a clear picture of where your time is going and how much time, net working time, you have available for your business, and then create these blocks of time. All right, what is next for C? Now for C, we want to categorize our tasks. And here, what do I mean? First of all, we need to be aware what is ahead of us. I like to do this on a weekly basis, especially on Sunday evenings, is where I'll see, okay, what work deadlines do I have? What do I need to accomplish for the business? On the family front, what needs to be done? What are the commitments? If I have any volunteer activities, what are the commitments for the week? Now you want to list them down one by one, every little one of them. Put them down. Empty your mind, put them down, okay? Let them get acknowledged, let them get recognized, write them down, even the very small ones, because they take mental real estate, yeah? Every time they keep coming up. So we want to make sure we have them on paper. And this is going to be so important because then we can begin to see what are the main things that will move the needle big time in our business. So I want to give you an example. For instance, if you are a digital marketer, for instance, you know that creating content is a big piece of the job, yeah? So what I do in this case, this is something I want to get done as early on as possible in the week, and then I can leverage on that such that if I'm creating a long form piece of content, it could be a YouTube video, it could be a blog post, it could be a podcast, it could even be a piece of post, a good quality, high value piece of post, yeah? Now, when that is done early on in the week, I find that I can repurpose that piece of content into, let's say, another 5 or 6 pieces of content, and that is what I'll be talking about during the week. So in terms of content creation, that is taken care of. But it comes down from being aware of what lies ahead and then just looking at how I can organize my tasks to make sure that, I'm knocking off the big pieces as early on as possible. Somebody called it eat your vegetables, yeah? Eat your veggies first. The things that, the things that you don't like doing or the things that you feel will move things faster for you. So that is C. We are listing our tasks, and if possible, we are categorizing them to see, where each one of them lies. Now for D, now we want to determine our priorities. Very, very important, because otherwise everything can feel as urgent, everything can feel like it needs to be done. Now here I have something that I really like, which is called the 2-minute rule. All these are time management principles that you can look up and read more on, but I just wanted to make you aware of them. The 2-minute principle says that if something can be done within 2 minutes, do it. Just get rid of it. Yeah, maybe you meant to respond to a message, to a text, you meant to call somebody, you meant to do something that is very small and will take you around 2 minutes. Just do it. Just get rid of it, yeah? That will bring down your list significantly. You can do this every day, or you can do this at the beginning of the week, okay? Depending on how you schedule your time, just get rid of those things. The other thing that we want to be aware of is the 80-20 rule. And these are just principles for us to be aware of so that we apply them even as we are determining our priorities. So we want to focus on tasks that require, lower effort, but they will move things in a big way. Yeah? They will yield massive results from little effort. And that's like what I was talking about in terms of content creation. So you want to see what are the things that I can focus on, and they will just make a whole difference. They'll have this domino effect with everything else that I do. So that is something you want to keep at the back of your mind as you're determining your priorities. The other one here, and is so key, is the Eisenhower matrix. It's a whole topic that I encourage you to look up and see how that works. But it just helps you on a weekly basis, on a daily basis, to prioritize your tasks. You get to decide what is urgent, what is important, what do I need to do first, what do I need to schedule or delay, what can I delegate, what do I need to get rid of, yeah? So just, again, starting from having your list of tasks, and then now you're taking it through this filter just to figure out what needs to be worked on, what needs to be left aside. Now, I'll give you a pro tip here. We always want to make sure that half of the time, if you're a business owner, half of the time should go towards selling activities. Yeah, revenue generating activities. Sometimes it's so easy to get carried away by tasks that we enjoy. They keep us busy. If you're a techie, maybe you want to play around with your funnel and make sure it's tweaked and highly optimized, and you're just busy, but you're never, selling. You're never working on revenue generating activities. So we always want to make sure, if there's a rule of thumb that I can give you, is to make sure that half of the time, of any time you have available every day, should go towards selling activities. This could be like content creation, email, following up on leads, things like that. If you're not very sure of what your own revenue generating activities would look like, I'll leave a resource below that you can look up. It's a highly valuable resource that will show you what exactly we need to be prioritizing on if we want to focus on revenue generating activities in our business. So that can be of help, but you want to just make sure you have that rule of thumb here. All right, that's the D. Now, the E, we want to execute, and execute with focus. Now, this is where we have those time blocks, those power blocks. We have determined our priorities. Now we sit down and get the work done. Now here you want to make sure that the environment is conducive. I like, in my own case, I love looking up this work with me videos and music on YouTube, where it's sort of like a co-working session with somebody else. Both of you are very busy, you don't know each other, and there's some nice music in the background. Most of them follow the Pomodoro technique, which is something you can use, where you work for, let's say, 20-25 minutes, take a break for 5 minutes, and then you continue. And it's just a nice environment where you can get working for 2 hours, for 3 hours, for 4 hours, and get so much done. So you want to make sure that the environment is conducive, that you have a designated workspace where you're doing this work, so that even your brain knows, okay, if we're here, this is what we're getting done. And so you can work on what gets you in the zone quickly and keeps it conducive with minimal distractions, and make sure you maximize on that so that we can execute with focus. So that's my ABCDE framework. It works very well. It's something you can, at the beginning, you try and see what works, what doesn't work, but you have a system that you can implement every week. I'll leave the resources in the link below, the tracker, the revenue generating activities, and this will help you significantly in terms of managing your time and taking care of all the multiple plates that you have on the stove as a very busy business owner, a leader, a professional, and a family person. The thing is, you don't need more time, yeah? You just need to be intentional with the time you have, and this system is going to help you with that. So try it and let me know how it is in the comments, and I look forward to hearing from you. Okay? All right, bye.